For me, the team is, I would say, the most important thing. We are, in the end, we are individual athletes, but without the team, we are nobody. There are many days I would prefer to be someone else, to have my privacy, to have more time for myself and everything. But to see the joy of so many people and be inspiring for the next generation, for kids to go out to do sport, this is something really nice.
Odermatt now coming in strong.
Our guest today is the most complete skier of his generation. A racer who brings silence to chaos, control to speed, and perfection to pressure.
Sensational.
This is Marco Odermatt. Marco, thank you so much for giving us some of your highly prized time today. For me personally, I'm a bit tingly. This is a real pressure moment for me, but delighted. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right, let's get in there. Now, you grew up in Buox in central Switzerland, a place more known for precision engineering rather than downhill champions. What do you remember from those early days on the slopes?
Yeah, absolutely. I really love my home. It's a great place to grow up. Kind of on the land, but close to city Lucerne, between mountains and lakes. And yeah, I remember many nice days on the slopes in the snow. It all started in in maybe two small, very small ski resorts. One was actually just one little ski lift, Langmattli, it's above Hergiswil, and the other was in Klevenalp. And yeah, that was the start of my career.
So wonderful. But when did skiing become more than just something that you loved and a passion? When did skiing become your pathway?
I would say it was when I made the step to Engelberg, to the sports school. It was at the time where you decide to learn a job, or if you want to go further with skiing, doing the gymnasium, and yeah, go on like this. It was like it's the age of 15, I guess. And from there on, yeah, you kind of see that you probably don't do the normal path with all your other friends you grow up with, and you do more and more skiing, more and more training, more racing. And yeah, in this time where you're in the sports school, I think it was the moment I realized, yeah, I want to really do this.
And of course, your father, Walty, was a ski racer, and whenever the family budget allowed. Your mother, on the other hand, I'm told, doesn't like heights and isn't a fan of a gondola or anything like it. How did that contrast shape you and your relationship with the mountains? It wasn't necessarily a given for somebody from your background to become the super champion that you are today.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's maybe was exactly the good thing about it, to have this balance between my dad, who was really into skiing. I mean, he did a lot of work for the ski club, for all the kids, not just for me. He already worked for all the associations in our area way before me, years before me, to help kids do more skiing. And my mom was exactly the opposite. She has nothing to do with skiing at all, and yeah, she was there for everything else besides skiing. And I think this gave me exactly the good balance, that skiing was important, but they always told me that there are more important things in life as well.
Yeah, that's great words. They're great words. You came through the ski club, Hergiswil, then the tell me if I get this wrong, Nidwalden Youth Squad. And by 19, you were already at the Junior World Championships, bronze in Super G, gold in GS, and then the legendary 4-gold sweep, Davos in 2018. At that point, did you feel this could truly be your future? Could you become one of the greatest, and some people believe the greatest ever in our sport?
No, for sure not. I think as a kid or as a young athlete, you always hope for the best. You always hope that you can win World Cup races, or first that you even get to the World Cup. But you never really think about getting the best Swiss male alpine skier. But for sure, it was at this time, I guess, for me, there was a key moment after those gold medals in Davos. I could go to the World Cup final in Ode and ski all those 3 races, giant slalom, super G downhill. I scored all top 15 results there and got some points. And when I can remember when I flew back home, in the plane, I watched out of the window, had some emotional music maybe in my earphones. And after that, I realized, now I made the step into the World Cup. And that was kind of always my dream as a kid, to become World Cup racer, not champion or something like this, but become a World Cup skier, live this life, travel around, do races. And that was a moment I can remember.
I remember you at those World Cup finals. I was commentating those World Cup finals live on Eurosport TV. And it's the first time in my commentary I've gone... when I saw this technique that we all love to watch now, loading. And I remember saying in my commentary, Switzerland have some magic in their box here. This guy is going to be something special. And your rise from 2019 after appearing at those World Cup finals, because you qualify for the World Cup finals if you win the World Juniors, just to put the record straight for those of you not quite getting the story. Then from 2019 to 2021, wow, it was extraordinary. Fast as well. The accolades were coming in at a frightening pace. First podium in Kranjska Gora. First win right here in Beaver Creek. Then your signature giant slalom mastery. Santa Catarina, Gran Risa, Adelboden. And all of a sudden, I think it's fair to say a star is born. Did something shift inside you during those seasons? Did you begin to realize this full power that you had on your skis?
Also not really, I would say. I mean, all those things, they're not coming from today to morning or overnight. I mean, this is a long progress, and you always take day by day, race by race. In our sport, you never really know what comes next, what happens. It's a dangerous sport, and so you never really think about too much ahead, I guess, or I'm not doing this. And I think we always had the same team, same coaches, same friends, and we kind of grow together. And it was never really a moment where I felt like, or where I wanted to put me over someone else, or we grew together. And I think this is also, I guess, the key for me to also stay in the team, work together, have fun together, and not doing something individual.
Good words. And then the breakthrough across the disciplines. World champion in downhill, Super G and giant slalom, the most successful Swiss male skier, as we've said, in World Cup history. The first since Permin Zübrigen to win the overall in the same season as Super G and giant slalom globes. Let's revisit those defining victories, the moments that shaped your dominance and made you the national hero they are today. You achieved incredible consistency, and the fans loved watching it get better, almost sharing the victories with you as part of it. First downhill win, we were going crazy. I was screaming like a teenager. How did you sustain that level? And was it planned meticulously, or you just went with the flow and it all came nicely together?
I think it all came nicely together. I started, as you said before, with just giant slalom, or let's say the first 1 or 2 years on the World Cup was just giant slalom, and I always knew that speed gonna be my second, third disciplines and not the slalom, and I progressed there pretty well. I could learn from the very best, like Beat Voigt, Mauro Cavetzel, Carlo Janka. They learned me a lot how to do speed, and like that I could learn pretty fast. And the first downhill victory was exactly at the World Championships. That was a perfect timing. I guess before that I had the world record for most downhill podiums without any victory. So that was not the best record to hold, but luckily I could change that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I often used to align you to your childhood hero, Didier Couche. There's this famous photo that you can see online. How old are you? About 6 or 7?
At the Hahnenkamm, Kitzbühel?
With
With him. Yeah, must be like that. Yeah, it was in
And I
summer.
always said, this guy wants to be Didier Couche. Giant slalom will be followed by Super G, followed by downhill. Was Couche a big impression and a good sort of role model for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It was always, I was always a big ski racing fan. I watched all the races as a kid. I was cheering for the Swiss team, but never something like I was cheering for Didier when he didn't win, or when I can remember when he lost the Globe by 1 point against Hannes Reichelt, I guess. I was crying the whole day. So I was a real fan, and yeah, he inspired me a lot.
Does anything scare you?
No, not much. Not really, I think, especially not on skis. We all know the risk, but we are professionals. We work for those challenge our whole life. We start as little kids to train all those little instinct things, I would say. And after that, we continue. We really train our whole life to be ready at the start at the most dangerous downhills like Bormi or maybe Kitzbühel. And so, sure, there are other things in life. You want to stay healthy and all those things. Those are the biggest things. But on skis, I'm never scared. No.
And when we're looking at Marco Odermatt, the athlete, are there any weaknesses? And how do you counter those weaknesses with your strengths?
I think I'm always in the present. I'm always pretty straight with myself. I know what I can, but I also know where the limit is. And I think this is a strength also to stay healthy through many years, to kind of know where is it worth it to risk it all, where if you feel ready 100%, if you feel like the equipment is giving you exactly what you want to feel, then you can go, I would say sometimes even over the limit. But there are also sometimes signals in your mind or from the equipment that tells you today is not the day. And I think this is something you have to learn a little bit through those years with some experience. But in the end, this, I think, became one of my strengths to really know when is the time to push.
No weaknesses at all? You don't feel a little bit open in any situations, or you blank them out?
Every person has weaknesses for sure, but I think it's important to work on your weaknesses, but it's even more important that your strengths stay your strength.
Got it.
Maybe for me as a, let's say, GS skier, to get into downhill, for sure I have to improve my gliding skills a lot. But in the end, if you improve your gliding skills a little bit, or you change your equipment to be faster on gliding, but then you lose more in your strength, like the technical parts, then you don't really win much time, because in the end you have to make the difference in those sections where you can make the difference.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is kind of my approach.
You just won the downhill here in Beaver Creek. I'm sure you've all seen it on the TV. And on that flyaway section, I can see you in that tap position on the flat. Come on, come on, come on. And then you hit the brink. Wow. Change into turbo and away you go. Is that gliding thing that all the downhillers talk about as frustrating as it sounds?
It can be, because you really have no clue if you're fast or not.
Yeah.
There are so many things that have to come together. The ski is even more important. Your service, that the ski is really going fast. If the ski is not going fast, doesn't matter your skills. I think you have no chance. So, but yeah, in the race it was already a bit faster. But in the downhill trainings, when there was a lot of snowfall, you were even slower, and then you were really in the tuck position. Like, come on, let's get steeper. But yeah, where it ends the flat part, and from there on you have to, as you said, switch into another gear.
Yeah, hit the turbo. Here's another question that a lot of people would love to hear more about. How important is your team to you as an athlete?
For me, the team is, I would say, the most important thing. We are, in the end, we are individual athletes, but without the team, we are nobody. It starts, as we said before, with the service guys. They do 100% job just for us as athletes to prepare our skis to make them fast. So they have they do an incredible job. Besides the lights in the cellars when no one is watching, and then obviously the Swiss ski team, from the coaches to the physio to all supporters. It's a big team. Many people are helping us to achieve our dreams, and without them it would not be possible to do a downhill or any kind of racing. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
And of course, Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland absolutely adores you. I mean, some people call you the Federer of skiing. You even appeared in campaigns alongside him. How does that comparison to somebody like Roger Federer, how does that make you feel? And standing next to Federer, does it change the way you sort of see your own success? I mean, he is kind of Mick Jagger of Switzerland, isn't he, really, Roger Federer? But now they kind of judge you two the same.
I mean, I would never judge us the same, for sure not. I felt very small next to him the first couple of times we met. I was maybe again like a little kid when I met Didier Gusch the first times. But for sure, I became more and more known and kind of important for Swiss fans at home. That's for sure. We could share some campaigns together, get to know each other. It was a nice experience for me. But as I said, I would never put me on the same level like him. I mean, in the end, ski racing is still a small sport compared to tennis, but for sure in Switzerland it has a very high value. And it's kind of nice to see that you can make so many Swiss fans, people happy with my success.
So you like being a national icon, or sometimes does it feel a bit heavy?
I mean, it's not something you aim for. I just wanted to ski, fast, win races, and those things, they come just next by. You don't really aim for that. You don't look for that. But when it's here, you kind of grow with it. And sure, there are many days I would prefer to be someone else, to have my privacy, to have more time for myself and everything. But if you want to have the good races, you also have to take that. And it's also nice, as I said before, to see the joy of so many people and be inspiring for the next generation, for kids to go out to do sport. This is something really nice.
Yeah, wonderful words. And then outside of Switzerland, you walk down the high street many times, almost unnoticed. I mean, if you came to my hometown, do you appreciate that contrast? And do you know where those places are? I want to go to here just to escape Switzerland's passion, love, adoration for skiers.
Yeah, that's for sure the very big difference to Roger. He can go nowhere, and for us ski racer, it's a little bit more tough in Switzerland, Austria, in the Alps. But besides that, it's very easy to live a normal life. So I appreciate that, and so the holidays are always holidays.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. Let's move on to part 3: pressure, mindset, and the mental game. You make everything look so easy, Marco, but we know nothing at this level is easy. How do you maintain such calm under pressure?
Yeah, it's really not easy. And I think also with winning many races, it's not really getting much easier, because it's always the same. To get into this mental racing mood where you have to be at the start, to be at your 100%, to give it all, to be able to win a race. This takes always a lot of energy. But for sure, the experience helps you to handle the pressure. You know that, you can do it. You know that you've done it before. You know that if the legs are shaking a bit at the start, that you can win races like that as well. And I think in these moments, the experience helps a lot.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Mistakes are very rare, which means that when they do happen with Marco Odermatt, the whole world notices. How do you process those rare off days. I mean, it's commentators like me that scream when you pick up a DNF because we very rarely see them happen.
Yeah, that's true. This is something nice, actually, that it doesn't happen too much, that you doesn't have to scream too many times. But also here, I think some years ago, I was more frustrating about mistakes, DNFs. But now, after kind of winning all my dreams, and yeah, mistakes just happens. And if you want to fight for the top spots, you have to take the risk. Then mistakes can happen even quicker. And it's something I haven't experienced too much, especially not too many mistakes in a row. This would definitely change something with me, or it's something I haven't experienced yet. So I can't really tell how I would handle it. But also last year I had a little bit more difficult start into the season with 2-3 DNFs in a row, and I also could handle this. So I think all those experiences give you even more confidence to handle every situation, and in the end, exactly those things give you even more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wonderful story. 3 DNFs in the first 3 giant slaloms of the season as the defending champion. And then all of a sudden, there's that top gear again. Boom, 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 boom. And another piece of crystal to take home. Fantastic story. You're also part of a very united Swiss team, Marco. They're supportive, tight-knit, friends. All of you seem to be the best of buddies, but as rivals as well. How do you balance that competition and friendship?
Yeah, I mean, I think in our giant slalom group, where we kind of grew up together with Thomas Tumler, Gino Kavietzel, Juste Mirziemi, we really became super close friends over those years. Also, besides the slope, besides training in our privacy at home, we really are good friends. And with the speed team, the young guys, they came pretty fast, and it was also cool to see, I think, some fresh energy. Everything was kind of new for Alexi, Franjo, and it also gave me a little bit more, let's say, I saw myself in them some years ago, and that was actually cool to see, to help them a bit. But even if they did their job by themselves, and now they became world champions or medalists, and now we fight for the Olympic spots, just for downhill spots, and I think we have 5 in the top 8 right now. So this is gonna be for sure a little bit more rivalry maybe this season between us, but I think we can make this switch very good. We are friends during all those other hours, but for sure from start to the bottom, everyone one win.
I mean, we saw that camaraderie, and we saw the Swiss team like we've never seen them before, celebrating success in Saalbach. I mean, it went viral on every internet platform. It was on every TV channel. For the first time, we saw the Swiss team really bond, and all of those things that are now famous and everybody knows about, and if you haven't, just go online and have a look. Was that a clear example, a clear demonstration of how you really love and care for each other?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it was not something planned. I think things like this just happen with the flow, with the emotions. Saalbach was a very special 2 weeks for all of us, I guess. We made so many medals. We had to, we could celebrate something in every race. Every individual athlete could achieve his goals and shows a perfect performance. And then after the speed races, everything came together. We were there. I had my medal, Alex had a medal, Franjo, and then we just became crazy.
It was good. Crazy it was indeed. A bit of head shaving going on, a bit of celebrating going, as you'd expect from world-class ski racers. Now let's just talk a little bit about this season. Beaver Creek, downhill winner, big box ticked. We're going to have to talk about the Olympics. But before we get to the Olympics, there's one really big box to tick in Kitzbühel. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah.
And that really big box. I've had some athletes on this podcast that say winning Kitzbühel possibly means more than winning the Olympic gold. How badly do you want to win that downhill in Kitzbühel, Marco?
Very badly, for sure. But it's also something I already last year, I'm a guy, if it happens, it happens. I'm not an athlete who, we say with the Brechstange in German, I don't know how to say it in English, but not with every prize. I think, especially in Kitzbühel, the most difficult or dangerous track we have on the World Cup Tour, you have to always ski smart, and you cannot just attack without your head and go all in. I think this doesn't happen or doesn't work in Kitzbühel. And so it's a big goal. I give everything I have to achieve this one day, hopefully, or maybe it's this year, maybe not. But in the end, there's also the Olympics coming up 1 week later. So it's also always a tight schedule. You also want to be obviously healthy and ready for the Olympics as well. So yeah, I just take race by race, get in a good shape, good confidence till there, and then try to give my best.
And is it fair to say that Kitzbühel is actually quite a handy warm-up, because we're racing the Bormio track at the Winter Olympic Games, and that's pretty gnarly too, to be honest. So is it fair to say a win in Kitzbühel sets you up perfectly for a rough, tough track at the Olympic Games?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those two tracks are the most difficult ones in the World Cup in downhill. And yeah, usually Bormio we skied in December, which should be even, or is even more tough, I guess. In February, there hopefully it's a little bit more light on the track, so it makes it not easier. That's probably the wrong word, but maybe not as tough as in this end of December. But for sure, Kitzbühel and Bormio, those are the two most difficult races, and also very icy, so maybe you can use a similar setup. So yes, Kitzbühel going to be also a warm-up for the Olympics.
And speaking of the Olympics, we have hundreds of people asking us, what is the focus? You could potentially win 3, maybe even 4 gold medals at these Winter Olympics. Do you take each day as it comes? Do you shoot for all 4 as a clear focus and plan? What is the Marco Odermatt game plan for the Olympics?
I really don't know yet. I think that's the cool thing in our sport. The World Cup is very important as well for us. We have so many cool and big races on the normal World Cup circuits, and we are not a sport that is the Olympic Games. It's the only thing that matters. So my goal is to win as much races as possible before the Olympics, be healthy there, come into the Olympics with good self-confidence. And then also there I take race by race. I think it starts with speed and ends with the giant slalom. So yeah, full gas in all those 3 races for sure. I don't know if I will do the team combined. That's far ahead. But yeah, it's even nice to say now, after those 3 season victories now in every discipline, that I already qualified for the Olympics, which is not in our strong team, not the very easiest thing to do. So like from now on, I can start planning a little bit. But in the end, as I said, I will focus on the World Cup till the week before the Olympics, and then I will make a good game plan for the Olympic Games.
And do you get annoyed that journalists like me keep counting those victories? Because in my commentary, he's 1 ahead of Girardelli. He's 2 away from Tomba. Watch out, Marcel Hirscher. He's coming. Do you mind that we love to calculate so that we can compare you to the greats? You know, Albert calls me up and he goes, Nick, hey, wait. He's not there yet. Do you follow that, or is it just part of the hype that is around you?
I'm not following it actively, but yeah, you don't get around it. I mean, it's in the end, it's something good. It's something nice to see, to hear. Also, last season to pass Pirmin Turbrick, and I think this was always also a year or 2 before. This was a mark which seems possible for me when I stay healthy and ski on that level. So this was always something I thought that would be cool to be the best Swiss male skier ever. But now all those next names or steps, this is not something I care too much about. But I know if I stay healthy and ski as I can right now, it's possible to catch one or two more names.
He's coming for Alberto Tomba, then Hermann Maier, then Marcel Hirscher. Good story to follow. It'll be a good story to follow. Let's move to our next category, Marco. It's icy slope. A friend of yours is going to ask you a couple of questions. Sometimes they're good, bad. Sometimes they're a bit scary. But let's get into the icy slope. Okay, hit play and let's see who it is and what he says.
Hey Marco, I have two questions for you. The first one would be, we know you are now really famous. Is there any situation in your life where you would like to be anonymous and that nobody will recognize you? That's the first question.
Yeah, it's Justin Murisier, one of my best friends. We talked about him before. He had a great story in Beaver Creek as well last year here, winning finally his first World Cup race. That was, I think, even the better day than this year when I won my first downhill here in Birds of Prey. Sharing this podium together with him was really unbelievable. He had a tough career in his life, and he went through many things. So it was so nice to see him finally winning. And to his question about when it would be nice not being recognized or famous, it would probably be with him partying somewhere. We like to go out sometimes, and obviously, those are the moments when you're out with friends or family or girlfriend that you, would enjoy the privacy and not get kicked up too many times when you're also drinking a beer or two once, and those are maybe the moments.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Second question. Come on, Justin.
Second question is, if you will be on a boat with your teammate, the boat is sinking, will you be the person saving your teammate first, or will you save yourself and go away and leave us on the boat?
The famous Titanic question.
I would say it depends what we've been doing right before. We are playing many games and we all hate losing, and probably if I just lost against him, I would jump first and let him on the boat. But otherwise, if we are in a good mood right now, I would help them for sure.
That's a good answer. And many thanks to Justin Murisier. Great questions. And we wish Justin the best of luck on tour this season. Let's move on. Marco, you're analytical, disciplined, controlled, but you also have this little playful side. Free riding, swimming, tennis, time with friends. What does life outside of skiing give you?
Really a lot. I said it in the very first question, I guess. I love my home. I have nice family at home, and also many friends who we grow up together ski racing. We met on the very first years while ski racing, and then I made the steps. They changed their direction, but we stayed very good friends, and we are all from a same area at home. And I think they make me feel normal, or they make me feel like living a normal life when we are together. There is not a single word about skiing. They don't even congrats me for races or victories. So it's just when I come home, it's free time. It's home. We talk about other things. We do other things. We like to do sport together. For sure, those are sports stays always somehow in the center of my life, doing several things. But this is something I enjoy.
This is one that interests me. Your autobiography, Mein Welt. What made you ready to tell your story now? I think you've got so many more stories to tell, but you feel now is the time. Yeah,
it actually came out some weeks ago already.
Sorry.
So it's already out now. It's a different kind of book, I think. It's with 10 different booklets. So it's kind of, I feel like I have many things to tell now to maybe also inspire the next generation, the kids, to share them my thoughts about ski racing, or also show them my world a little bit from all the people that helped me to become the skier I am right now. And those are things I want to tell now when everything is going on, when it's actually happening right now, and not 10, 20 years later to look back and talk about the good old stories and everything was better when I was skiing. So I think it's more interesting right now. But as I said, it's also kind of a book system with booklets. So it's not that the last page is not written yet. There is a possibility to tell even more in the future. And that was, very cool idea.
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea. In the moment now, I think is good. I've got this Mindveld, My World. It's out there. Go buy it. Go read it. This gentleman's taking you on the inside track. And before he's even got to the games. Sounds a brilliant concept. A slightly personal question. You've been in a long-term, stable relationship for years. A rare thing in this world when we're all on the road, traveling pressure. Does that stability help you stay grounded?
Absolutely. I think in the relationship, or also with friends, stability, or also in the team helps you always. You know where you come from, you know the path you go through with them, and I think those are the people that doesn't change, or you doesn't change, and also them doesn't change with the success. And I think this is something very, very nice, to have this stability.
And when you look back on your career one day, what do you hope people will say about Marco Odermatt?
I hope they will say he was a good skier, but also a good person. I think this is always something which was important for me to have the success, but not for every price, not to kick someone down to be on the top. So I want to, be the fastest in the race with my skiing skills. But besides that, I also want to be a humble athlete where the other athletes say, I would like to get a beer with him in the evening. And I think this is something really important for me as well.
I think you're a fantastic person. I really do. You really are a cool cat and a good guy. You really are. Let's go on to some rapid fire to wrap up this podcast. Okay, Marco, not quite as fast as you're skiing, but nearly as fast as you're skiing. I need the answers. So, fast and furious, slick and quick, starts off easy, gets a little bit trickier by the time we get to the end. Giant slalom or downhill?
Downhill.
Oh, Koenigsbergli or Kitzbühel?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I have to go with Koenigsbergli.
Yeah, that's the Adelboden giant slalom piece that we all love. Olympic downhill gold or a 5th overall globe?
Olympic downhill gold.
Yeah.
Both.
Perfect turn or perfect line?
Perfect line.
Being a Swiss icon or being anonymous abroad?
50-50.
That's clever. Federer or Kush?
Oh, yeah, you make it difficult. As a skier, with my story, I have to go with Didier Kush.
Me too. I love him still. Surfing or free riding a big line?
Free riding.
Beijing Gold or Kitzbühel Super G win?
Beijing Gold.
The worst question you get asked?
In the summer, when you're somewhere and they ask you, "Oh, you're not skiing."
That's great. Beach or mountain?
Mountains for sure, but for holidays, I prefer the beach.
The best advice you've ever been given?
If you do it full gas.
And we're pinching one of yours here. Life is a game, but what's the next level?
How do you mean that question? Sorry.
Okay, so I'm taking a quote from somebody I know quite well here. Life is a game. So if it is a game, what's the next level after that?
I mean, I have this in my biography, Life is a Game Played. So I think this is all our life and we can make with it whatever we want. And I think it's you who choose your way, your decisions. And I think someday the game will change and I will hopefully have some other goals, but I'm not there yet and I cannot answer it right now.
That's a great answer. Now, I don't write all of these questions, so don't be hard on me, okay? The most romantic moment of your life?
I would say I'm not the most romantic boyfriend, but for sure I had some great moments. Maybe also in the mountains. I would say hiking up, watching the sunrise, sunset, having calm time. Those are the nice moments.
Okay, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Best party you've ever been to?
There are many. There are more probably. Well, I think all those World Cup finals, they are always very good to partying, or also the Saalbach party with the special story we wrote there.
Yeah, that was a good one. That really was good. Who would you call in the middle of the night if your car broke down?
Usually our problem solver is Tom Stauffer, our head coach. Maybe not when my car breaks down at home, but when we are on tour, for sure him.
Sorry about that, Tom. Your biggest fear?
Yeah, my biggest fear in the end is, I think, the same for everyone, to stay healthy, I just wish all the people surrounded by me the best of luck with the health, and yeah, that's probably also the biggest fear.
Do you have a favourite teammate?
No.
Good answer.
Many.
Okay, these are getting tougher now. Tomba or Hirscher?
I actually don't really know Tomba that well, so I have to go with Hirscher.
Nice answer. LeBron or Michael Jordan?
This is a tough question. I think LeBron is also getting higher and higher.
So Federer, Hirscher or Messi, who impressed you the most in real life?
Federer, on and off the court.
Okay, Tom Brady or Roger Federer, who defines longevity better?
I'm not so much in the NFL, so I also have to go with Roger Federer. I just know his story better, even if I know Tom Brady is the man of the NFL. But Roger Federer is just for a Swiss, and even knowing him that he really is how he shows how it is. This is impressive.
Great answer. So if we make the Marco Odermatt movie, which actor would play you?
No idea.
No idea. Me neither, actually. That's a tough one. I haven't even got a plan there. Would you rather meet Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps?
I would go with Usain Bolt.
Yeah, I'd love to meet him too. If you could steal one skill from any athlete, whose would it be?
It would be the gliding skills, for sure, and I would not care from which one.
I think Beat Voigt had great gliding skills.
Yeah, I mean, he was also not the very fastest in the very flat gliding part, but from Beat I would steal his feeling for the snow.
It was incredible, really. If you weren't a skier, would you rather be a pilot or a footballer?
I actually think playing football is very cool as well. I mean, we talked about it before. I like the team building, and I think this is something really cool. Or maybe in my next life I would do a sport in a team, because you can always celebrate together or you're disappointed together. So being a football player would also be fun.
We're nearly at the end. To be coached for one day, Didier Couch or Hermann Maier?
Didier Couch.
Yeah, me too. If you could have dinner with one legendary figure, no longer alive, who would it be?
Maybe my grandparents for 3-4 generations back.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That would be really cool. I think I'd like to have dinner with Elvis Presley.
Yeah, there would be many, I guess.
Yeah, you could go on and on. Marco, thank you for your honesty, your clarity, and your humility. Your story reminds us the greatness that doesn't need to be loud. It can move quietly, precisely, and with absolute intention. It's been brilliant spending some time with you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much. And to all our listeners that are with us right now, subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all of the platforms for more stories from the heroes of the World Cup. But today, join me in wishing this gentleman, we want to see him win Kitzbühel and an Olympic gold. And I think if you stick with it, it's going to happen.
Hopefully.
On behalf of the team here, many thanks for your company. It's goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Alpine Pulse is an official podcast of the FIS, produced by Maniac Studios.